Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Thomas here, and today I thought I'd bring you guys with a mock draft one day before the actual draft. A few things to note here. There are going to be no trades, as I can't really predict what's going to happen. And with, the rumors of, possibly the Jaguars moving up from 5 to 2 for Travis Hunter, there's just no way to predict it, but let's just get right into it. First overall pick, everyone's mocking it. Cameron Ward to the Titans. I mean, I feel like it's a foregone conclusion. You might as well already have the playbook. Now, while I don't think he should be the number one overall pick, if I were the Titans, I probably would go with an Abdul Carter, just to shore up that defensive line. I think he's going to be a generational talent, and I think he has a lot of potential to be very good in this league. But that's just me. Second overall, I feel like it has to be Travis Hunter. I'm very bullish on Abdul Carter. I think if you were to combine him and Myles Garrett, no quarterback would be safe in this league, no matter the offensive line. Even the Eagles would struggle with that. But at the end of the day, you just take best player available, and Travis Hunter, it's probably the best player in this draft, in my opinion. I mean, I think he can play both sides of the ball. He did it in college. He won a Heisman. I get the NFL's a different speed, but when it just comes to otherworldly athletes, there's a reason he's getting drafted second overall. Now, whether he actually will do that, I have no clue. But I think if he gets to the right team, he could very well do that. Third overall, this is where it gets a little interesting. It's just I think the Giants are going to take Abdul Carter here, mainly because I don't think they need any more defensive line. They have Kayvon Thibodeau, they have Brian Burns, and now they're just going to add Abdul Carter. I feel like there's no room for him there. I mean, Dexter Lawrence as well. I mean, where are you going to put him? But I feel like with Joe Shane or whatever his name is, he's pretty much just drafting for his job at this point. And you're not going to put that in the hands of a rookie quarterback. Especially you're not going to take Shador at 3. With the way his draft stock has just been plummeting. So, going to take Abdul at 3. And then this is where I get a little bias. Patriots at 4. I think this is really where the draft starts. I think the first 3 picks are the kid already be made right now, for all I know. But with that being said, Patriots here at 4. This is probably the worst case scenario if you're the Patriots. I mean, Travis Hunter's gone, Abdul Carter's gone. But at the end of the day, I could see this being a trade back spot, but I don't think this is really a trade back draft. It's a trade back draft, but I don't think I don't think any team's gonna want to trade up, if that makes sense. But I feel like with drafting Drake May 3rd overall last year, it just makes sense. If you draft a quarterback, you draft offensive line next year. No matter how good your line is, you still need to protect your most valuable asset. And I think Will Campbell is the best offensive tackle in the draft. I see him as blue chip. I've heard rumors about him just maybe sticking at guard, but you're not going to draft a guard 4th overall unless you get a Quentin Nelson type player. But Will Campbell, his arms don't concern me. I mean, he's dominant at LSU. They don't concern me at all. If the dude can play, he can play. 5th overall, I feel like the Jags, it'd be stupid not to take Mason Graham. Again, just best player available. He's just a wrecking ball. And they need, as much as they need to surround Trevor Lawrence with all the question marks around his, is he really going to be a generational type of player? I feel like with all those question marks, you really need to make sure you have a defense. Because, I mean, they do have good offense. They have Brian Thomas Jr., and I guess they're going to make Tank Bigsby running back 1, which I'm not even sure. But with all those question marks, I feel like it'd be a good time to just address defense. Even though they did take the defensive player 1st overall a couple of years ago, he's been okay. But anyway, 6 overall, Raiders. I've been reading that Tom Brady has a huge influence on this pick. I don't think it's going to be Shedeur. I would be shocked if Shedeur was top 10 at this point. His draft stock's just been plummeting. So I think at 6, they really missed Josh Jacobs last year with the run game, and I just feel like it would take a lot of pressure off Geno Smith to have to be like an elite quarterback, because he's not going to be elite. Geno Smith is going to be a good quarterback, but he's not going to be like top 10. So I feel like if you're able to take off the pressure of him, Brock Bowers is going to be open pretty much at any given point. And plus, he had a good running back duo of Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker in Seattle. And right now, with the Raiders having no run game, I mean, is Zamir White going to do that for you? No. So I think you take probably one of the best running back prospects of all time, and you take Ashton Jeanty. I saw some mocks where he was going 4th to the Patriots. I would riot if we got Jeanty. I love Jeanty, just not at 4, especially for the Patriots, who, I mean, I like Ramondre Stevenson, but I do think we should draft a running back in this draft, just not with the 4th overall pick. Now the Jets at 7. Probably going to go Mimbu here. It's the Jets. They need a lot of things. I think Mimbu can be a very, very good tackle. He could very well be the best tackle and lineman in this draft, but there's just no good way of telling. This is a weird draft because of what NIL's done. I think probably next year's going to be a little better because a lot of juniors stayed for their senior years, but that's another discussion. Panthers, every time I take an offensive player, a lot of my Panthers friends yell at me, so they talk about them needing defense, and honestly, they could go a lot of different directions here, but on defense, like, I've seen Jalen Walker, I've seen Mike Green. It's just like, at the end of the day, do you want a short pick in like Jalen Walker, which I feel like he's really safe, or do you go with the potential stud in Mike Green? I think they're going to take more of the safe route because, I mean, Dave Canales, he can't really risk like a boom or bust. You just need a short pick, and I think that's Jalen Walker at the end of the day. I think he'd be a great pick for the Panthers, great pickup. And as for 9, I've seen a lot of rumors of Shedeur going 9 to the Saints. I just don't think he's top 10, man. With all of the media and controversy around him, I just don't see him going top 10. So, I mean, the Saints, yes, they do need a quarterback, but at the end of the day, I think you can get a better quarterback next year because you're not going to compete this year. And I mean, yes, the NFC South is like notoriously not a hard division, but with them being in constant like salary cap hell, I just think it's time for a little bit of a restart because Derek Carr is not an elite quarterback. I mean, yes, he showed flashes earlier in his career when he was on the Raiders, and he looked very, very good, like an MVP candidate even. But that's in the past, and that is no longer the Derek Carr now when he's just going to be injured most of the year. So while it's the sexy pick, Shedeur Sanders he can be very good. I just don't think there's enough upside there. And honestly, I could see them drafting receiver here, even though they have like Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. But Chris Olave really didn't look good at all last year. I know this because I have him on my Dynasty League, and dude he was struggling. And once you struggle to get open like that, the team's going to start to look in other directions. But I don't think they're going to go receiver if they don't have a quarterback throwing the ball. So, like I said, there's a lot of ways they could do this. Honestly, I could very well see an edge rusher here. Probably like a Shamar Stewart or Mike Green. I'm probably going to go with... I'll say Mike Green because I like Mike Green. I like his upside. I mean, dude was just dominant. I mean, in every aspect of the word, he was just him. I mean, he's a great player. And I think the Saints could really use a defense since they traded Lattimore last year. So now number 10 for the Bears. I would like to see line here. I've seen rumors of them taking tight end such as Tyler Warren, but I don't think they're gonna go tight end when they already have Cole Kmet, who's already a good tight end, very solid. It's just I think you need to protect Caleb Williams. Like I said, like that same scenario for the Patriots. You draft a generational quarterback in the draft, first overall, you need to protect him. And his line really wasn't that good last year. So I think if you give him more time in the pocket, he's just going to do great things. And I'm going to go Kelvin Banks here. I think he can be very good. I think I've seen him go anywhere from number 4 to late first round. I think 10's a good spot for him, personally. But we'll see. The 49ers, they just need players that won't get injured at this point. They got rid of Debo. They have Ayuk, who's on one leg. McCaffrey, you don't even know if he's going to return back to the form that we're used to seeing from him, as his injury concerns are coming back. But I don't see offense on this because they did lose a lot of defense, like Hufanga to the Broncos, for one. So I think they could use linebacker. They just need defense. I think they need some more. I think they need that lockdown corner, or maybe even a safety. I just think they need help in that secondary. Will Johnson, I've seen a lot of I've seen people say oh, he's the best corner in the draft, or some people are like, oh, don't even see him as cornerback 2 or cornerback 3. I mean, for me, Will Johnson, I think he has a lot of potential. I think he can be very good, but I'm not sure if he's going to go above, say, a Jahad Barron, but which is the pick for me, just because, I mean, it's Jahad Barron. I think he can be a lockdown corner. And then the Cowboys, I think they're going to take wide receiver here. I think they're going to take some of the pressure off of CD, but in terms of which one, I would love to see Tetra McMillan here, but I think in terms of who's going to be wide receiver 1 off the board, I think it might be Matthew Golden after that combine performance. As you can see here, he's 5'11", 191, so he's a little bit of a smaller receiver, but you don't really need that posing physical specimen that McMillan is when you already have a CD Lamb who's going to get a lot of yards anyways. He's going to be really that X receiver. So I think Matthew Golden would complement him very well. For the Dolphins, with rumors of them trading Jalen Ramsey, I could see them drafting Will Johnson here. I mean, get one safety out, or not safety, get one cornerback out and get another one in. It's that simple. And I really do like Will Johnson. I think he can be the best corner in this draft, including Travis Hunter. If he plays corner, who knows? But 14, everyone knows if Tyler Warren's there, I mean, he's going to get to the Colts. It's been mocked ever since pretty much the draft order has been set. So that's a foregone conclusion. And then the Falcons here, they need defense bad. After taking Penix last year in the top 10, it's just you just need a short thing on that defensive line. I could see them taking a Jahad Campbell or a Shamar Stewart, but it really depends on who they have as the best defensive player on the board. If they're not too concerned about character issues, maybe a James Pierce, but I would like to see them take any kind of defense, especially on the edge. So I think I'll go with Mykel Williams here just because Georgia produces very, very good defensive players historically, especially early on in the draft. So here at 16, halfway through the mock, the Cardinals, they're kind of a mess last year with Marvin Harrison Jr., kind of underperforming a lot of people's expectations, including my own. But it's a little more scary when Kyler Murray says he would like to run the ball more, which, yes, he is a very mobile quarterback, but at the end of the day, historically, mobile quarterbacks are a little more injury prone, which scares a lot of teams. But I think that the Cardinals here, I think they're going to go defense, especially on the edge. I think if they see someone like a Shamar Stewart or Jahad Campbell, it's really their pick. I'm going to go Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M. But, yeah, and then the Bengals, if they don't take defense here, oh my gosh. Like, you're, like, completely ignoring one side of the ball. I mean, they extended T. Higgins. They extended Jamar Chase. They have Joe Burrow on that massive contract. I mean, yes, they have the best wide receiver room in the NFL, but no one on that defense. I mean, when they made the Super Bowl, their starting cornerback was Eli Apple, and Cooper Kupp just gave him hell. So, I think, really, like, just with the Bengals, like I said, just best defensive player they have on the board. Could be a Derek Harmon, could be a Jahad Campbell. Honestly, I could see them taking a Jahad Campbell. I think he could go pretty early on in this draft, in which a lot of people have maybe going a little later than this. But you just never know with a draft like this. At 18, with the Seahawks, I mean, they signed Sam Darnold. While I don't know if he's going to be the quarterback of the future, because I think anyone would look good with that wide receiver room with Addison and Jefferson and Hawkinson. I mean, that's a killer offense. Anyone will look good. So we're going to see how he's going to do when people like DK Metcalf go out. But now, like an aging Cooper Kupp, is that really going to make up for it? So they could go some different directions here. I wouldn't be too shocked if they went tight end. I mean, yes, I do like Noah Fant. But in terms of, like, just getting, like, surefire, like, gonna be good players, I think Loveland is a very good player. But at the same time, when you have players like Tetroya McMillan still available, I find it hard to kind of, like, not let a DK Metcalf go and not have that big body receiver. So I think I would love to see McMillan go right here. I think it's a great spot for him. He's come in. I mean, you're going to be beside Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, and you're going to have time to develop. And which I've seen some mocks have him go top 10, and I've seen some where he's late first round. But I think he has potential to be the best wide receiver in this draft class, not named Travis Hunter, because, again, we don't know what position he's going to play. That here at 19, the Buccaneers, they'll probably go with the secondary. I'm a huge Nick Emmanwori guy. Emmanwori, I forget how to say his name, but guy out of South Carolina. I think he's going to be the best safety in this draft. And then at 20, the Broncos, I've heard Sean Payton talk about they're going to be very aggressive with running backs here. Whether that's a smoke screen or not, we don't know, but I feel like the early indication is that they are going to go with a Colson Loveland. Just give Bo Nix that dominant tight end that they need. He's good pass blocker. He can get open. He's just gonna run right through you. I love the tight ends in this draft. What can I say? 21. I feel like if Shedeur is still here, and if he doesn't go top 10, I think this is what the Steelers will do. I think this is where the drop stops. So I think this is probably the best case scenario for Shedeur, in my opinion. Even though there was this report that Pickens just unfollowed the Steelers on Instagram, which doesn't concern me at all. But we'll see how that goes. Here are the Chargers. Really, this is probably one of the worst cases for the Chargers, as they really need receiver or tight end. I would love to see Loveland drop to them, but at the same time, Peyton was saying running back, but I'm not sure how believable that is. That's why I took Loveland. But here at 22, I feel like, yes, they did just get Najee Harris, but it's just like at some point I feel like Omarion Hampton is gonna really rise up in this draft, and when, I don't know, but I could see him going somewhere very close to this pick. But in terms of like pass catchers, I mean, I feel like the Chargers have to take a wide receiver here. And I could see like maybe like a Luther Burden coming up in this like draft. Like, yes, I do like Emeka Ibuka, but I think in terms of fit, Luther Burden would complement that receiving room very well. I mean, Quentin Johnston's big wide receiver. Now, will he catch ball? We don't know. Still don't know to this day. He's been in the league almost 3 years now. But I think he would complement the other two receivers with Vlad McConkey in there being the slot guy. And I think Luther Burden can be kind of that good in between. Here at 22, Packers have not drafted a first-round wide receiver since I was in diapers, essentially. So I don't think that's going to change now. I could see them going edge here or somewhere on the defense side of the ball, maybe even corner, but I don't really see any like dynamic corners this early unless you want to reach for one. The only guy I could see going another corner is Siobhan Ravel, but I'm going to go with corner just for the sole purpose of we just don't know if Jair Alexander is going to be there at the start of the season or not. And I think Siobhan's going to be a very good corner in this league. Now with the Vikings, I feel like it's the perfect spot for Malachi Starks, another good safety in this league. Safety, corner, whatever he's going to play. Probably safety. But he's gonna make that secondary very good after they drafted J.J. McCarthy and they addressed defensive line that first round as well. So 25th overall, Texans, they need offensive line. They essentially got rid of every lineman they have. So really take your pick of which one is the best. I could see them taking a Gray Zabel right here just because I think he can be one of the best guards in this draft, a true guard. And then Rams right here. I've seen rumors of them taking quarterback to the point where it's like I think Jackson Dart is the pick right here. It's just like I feel like it just makes sense. He looks like a Los Angeles Rams quarterback, like that Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford kind of look. I feel like he just looks like a Rams quarterback, if you know what I mean. But at 27, here are the Ravens, where they were unstoppable on the offensive line of the ball with Derrick Henry almost getting 2,000 yards, which apparently no one has heard. He was almost a 2,000-yard rusher last year, and that's with Lamar Jackson. So I think they're gonna go defensive side of the ball here. I think this is where a Derek Harmon can go out of Georgia, even though he fell a little bit. And then 28 with the Lions, they just need to stay healthy. I think Aiden Hutchinson can be one of the best edge rushers in this league, and I just think they just need to shore up on the defensive side of the ball, and that starts with edge and their depth with that, so they can I think they can take a James Pierce here. I think this is where his fall stops. I think because he's going to be a top 5 pick early on in this process, and I still think he can be a top 5 pick talent. I think that's just an answered prayer for the Lions. Now for the Commanders, I could see them going, even though they have a very, very strong offensive line, to my knowledge, I'm still very bullish on hey, you drafted a quarterback first round last year, and especially one that looks so good like a Jaden Daniels, that I feel like you have to take offensive line just because you can never have enough depth at that position. So just go with the best one available, Josh Simmons, sure. And then the Bills, I have a lot of Bills fans who have been talking. I think this is where Omarion Hampton goes with the uncertainty with James Cook and his contract, just to give them a little more of an edge in contract negotiations. Be like, hey, we don't need you, but we still want you. And I think Omarion Hampton can be one of the best running backs in this draft. Not really a huge body running back. He's 6 foot tall, very dynamic, and he just does everything you would want a running back to do. Being a Duke fan, that hurts putting him in the first round, but you can't ignore the upside. And I mean, he's an amazing running back, and he has the stats to back it up. Now here with the Chiefs, I feel like you just need to address that offensive line because that was bad. I mean, especially when you trade Joe Thuney to the Bears, you just need some more guards. So you can take, like I said, best one available. Take your Tyler Booker of the world. It's whoever they want. And then the Eagles, they did lose some on the defensive line. So I think this is where they could take like a Walter Nolan, but I think I'm going to give him Kenneth Grant right here. And I know I did leave out a lot of good prospects like Tyleik Williams, but at the end of the day, this is my mock draft. Is it going to be perfect? Not one bit. There are probably going to be a lot of second-rounders here that fall, and there might be like that Cole Strange pick where you expect him on like round 3 and goes round 1, or like last year when I thought that like some of the wide receivers that were going to go day 1 actually go on day 2, and then like in the Indianapolis example with like Worthy's teammate, I forget his name right now, but in like Leggett, like I didn't think he would go round 1 last year, but he did. Well, I was kind of hoping he'd go to the Patriots, but hindsight, it is what it is. And the Patriots trade that Ladd McConkey pick, but it's okay. But yeah, here's my mock draft. I know it's not perfect. I know there's going to be a lot of falls, and some picks don't make sense, but this is just my gut reaction and what I think is going to happen. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you have going where, and I'll see you guys later.